Hey, hello there, friends. It's Jimmy Maverick, and we are going to do a mock draft tonight. It is July 2nd, and let me tell you, there are some big changes happening on the draft board, which is a little unusual given that nothing is happening. But I'll tell you one thing right now. Todd Gurley's stock is dropping like a rock. Okay, he is currently sitting at around the 30 pick. Okay, third round for Todd Gurley. I can't believe it. I had as many concerns as everyone else does about him, but are you kidding me? Third round and falling? I just can't believe it. So anyway, we're going to do a mock. We're going to see where he goes today. But we are going to do a 12-team mock, picking 8th. And you see here we start in 3 minutes. This is going to be on Yahoo that we're doing it today. And we are going to use my app, My Perfect Fantasy Draft, to pick our players, to help us pick players for this draft. So I invite you to go to my website, fantasyfootballmaverick.com. Here's the address right here. Here's the cool website. And then all you got to do is just click on the Start the App to get this thing going. Of course, you do need to subscribe to get full access, including access to the half-point PPR list, but that's what we're going to do. Now, one of the nice things about my app is it allows you to set up a fully customized draft list in just minutes, okay? So when you first log into the draft, it's going to ask you 3 questions. The first question is, how does your league score points? We're going to choose half-point PPR because that's how the players are scored on the Yahoo draft board, okay? Second question, do you want to engage Jimmy's recommended player filters? Now, normally I say yes, but I want to just look at everybody, especially because I want to see where Todd Gurley is right now. We're going to say no to that. And then question 3 is, do you want to enter draft mode? And we definitely want to do that. What we're going to do is we just have to answer 2 questions. What's the size of the league? And what is our draft position? And what is our draft position again? Shoot. It is 8th. Okay, so let's go in and we will put in 8. And what this is going to do is this is going to break the draft list down round by round. Okay, so you can see the player list right here. Here is our position filters, and then these tabs that just popped up. This is draft mode, and this represents each round of the draft. Okay, down below we got my recommendations, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to minimize the recommendations. And then below the recommendations, you'll see the player list itself. Now, one of the interesting things that my app does that no one else does is instead of the players being sorted by like some arbitrary ranking or ADP or something like that, my app sorts all the players according to their VORC score. So that's what this first column is over here. And what VORC stands for is it stands for the 4 key stats that I look at when I'm evaluating players for fantasy football. So it stands for value, outlook, reliability, and consistency. That's these 4 columns right here. Based on how they score on each of these columns, they get points, and then those points are added up, and the person with the highest points are at the top of the list. So you can see on a straight top 12 basis, my favorite player in half-point PPR, Ezekiel Elliott. Below him, Alvin Kamara, Devontae Adams. Who do I not like on this list? Well, my least favorite top 12 players would be Nick Chubb, Le'Veon Bell, and Michael Thomas. So that's kind of how that works. And let's see here. The draft is now loading. That's good. And so all you need to do then is just go to the first round. And we can see here that in draft position 8, the players that it is recommending to us would be Devontae Adams, DeAndre Hopkins, and Julio Jones. Those are all fantastic choices, but one thing that I always like to do is I like to take a running back first with my first pick. Then I come back and get myself an elite wide receiver in round 2. So if we look, we can use the position filters to just look at the running backs. And if we look at the running backs, we can see we have a number of options, but you can see that there's Christian McCaffrey and David Johnson at the top of the list, but there is a gun next to them. What that means is they are a long shot. Less than a 50-50 chance of being available when it comes to our pick. The most likely player that's going to be available with the highest VORC score would be Joe Mixon. Below him, Melvin Gordon, another person who is probably going to be gone. But what this does is this is going to help you, like, okay, Joe Mixon is going to be our target. Dalvin Cook is a backup. But if either Christian McCaffrey or David Johnson somehow make it to pick number 8, we will take them instead because, again, they have a higher VORC score, okay? Christian McCaffrey, I don't expect it to happen, but David Johnson could. You know, it's very likely. So let us jump back to the thing now. The draft is loading. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the video till we're within 3 picks of my pick, and we'll see where we're at and who we can take. All right, so this is going pretty much as we expected. It looks like both David Johnson and Christian McCaffrey both got taken, which is fine. But take a look at this. I've got this sorted for Gurley right now. Look where he is right now. Ranked 31. Third round. I cannot believe it. There has not been any news about Todd Gurley. There has not been any update to his status. I don't know what's causing this, but that is just crazy. You know, in my opinion, I'm like, I can't believe that he would fall this far. Clearly a first-round talent, but I'm going to take Joe Mixon with my first pick. All right, so let's go ahead and we will take him. And then all we need to do is just jump back to my app. We're going to go to the second round, and we're going to see here the top recommendations for our next round would be Juju Smith-Schuster, Mike Evans, and Derrick Henry. All fantastic choices. I do absolutely like the idea of going with an elite wide receiver, so Juju and Mike would be my pick. Of course, if we wanted to go for running backs, you can see Joe Mixon is on the list, but he's a long shot at this point. If we waited till our second pick to try to get him, less than a 50-50 shot of him being available. So I didn't want to take the chance. But look, Todd Gurley is the number 2 pick right here. And I got to say what you will about him, but he offers an amazing value, and that's why he's so high here. Plus, reliability and consistency has been top-notch, all right? Now, despite what happened at the end of last season, I mean, are you a gambling man? Would you be willing to do that? I'm not going to do it this time because I definitely want to get myself an elite wide receiver, though. But you can see that, let's see here, could we even get him in the third? Is he possible? No, he will probably be gone by our third. Our third pick is pick number 32. He will most likely be gone at that point. But should you pick a little earlier, like let's say you get the 4th pick or the 3rd pick, you can get him you can get him in the 3rd round. That's crazy, okay? I would totally take him in the 3rd round, no questions asked. But let's see here. It's almost back to us already. There's Juju right there. I'm just going to cue him up. And let's see here. Mike Evans is right there, so they're both good to go. I think we're going to most likely get one of them. Now, what about Odell? Because Odell, you know, again, is sitting there. And Odell, I don't like him because he changed teams in the offseason. You know what? I'm going to just make my decision right here, and then I'll show you what I'm talking about. So let's go ahead. We're going to take Juju, as he's the highest ranked guy for this round. But if we look at Odell Beckham, his VORC score is terrible. Why is it terrible? Well, first of all, low reliability. He has missed a lot of games over the past 2 seasons, okay? His consistency, top notch. When he does play, he's going to be involved in the game plan. But he only has a moderate outlook because he changed teams in the offseason. There's always an adjustment that happens. These players need time to acclimate to the new playbook, new coaches, new quarterback. All right, it takes time. Very rarely do you see players that switch teams do better the season after they change teams, okay? They got to get adjusted. It takes a while. So I like to stay away from those players. And his value is okay, but it's not great, right? This value rank is 21, and we were in the 2nd round, we were at pick 17. So it was a negative value situation, which I like to stay away from. But anyway, this is designed to help you determine, you know, is this guy worth taking? And you don't want to just take the name, right? You see a big name. I've been burned many times with that in my younger days of playing fantasy football. Oh, look, Des Bryant. Well, of course he's a wide receiver 1, but it was clearly he no longer was a wide receiver 1, right? So anyway, so that's what's going on there. So let's see here. Now we are moving on to the 3rd round. So let's just check it out. So the 3rd round, okay. Recommendations: Robert Woods, Brandon Cooks, Marlon Mack. Okay, now I don't think I want to go with the 2nd wide receiver. I think we can wait. Wide receiver is a pretty deep position. We've got our elite option. We got Juju. But I do like the idea of going with Marlon Mack. I think that would be an excellent, excellent choice. You can see also at the top of the list, Derrick Henry is a long shot to be available. I would love to get him if he is still there. We can look at what other running backs are sitting here. Josh Jacobs, another fine choice. I would love to get Josh Jacobs on my team. The man has a clear-cut path to being a workhorse running back for that team. Those other guys, Jalen Samuels and the other guy, I don't even know his name. I can't think of it right now. Those guys are not going to compete for the starting job. They are not starting running backs, all right? Josh Jacobs is. So that's another great choice. But I think I want to go, obviously, with the most points I can. So let's go ahead and what I'm going to do is I'm going to queue up those players, and we will come back when we're within 3 picks of my next pick. All right, so you can see we're back. We got Derrick Henry and Marlon Mack both here. They're both questionable that we're going to be able to get them. I do have Josh Jacobs queued up here as well, so we can take him if they happen to both get taken in the next couple of picks. They did not. Okay, so we're in a good situation. I think we're going to be able to get one of these guys. Obviously, top choice would be Derrick Henry. So let's just see what happens. And Kevin did not take one either. Okay, great. I think we're probably going to get Derrick Henry. We are going to get Derrick Henry. That is awesome. So I'm very happy with that as my running back 2. So we got Mixon and Henry in on our team. Juju Smith-Schuster, the wide receiver. That's a pretty fine start to this game. So now let's move on to the 4th round. So in the 4th round, who do we like? Kenyon Drake, Chris Godwin, Andrew Luck. Okay, so if we wanted to go with an elite quarterback, now would be the round to target Andrew Luck, okay, because he's probably going to be gone by our 5th pick, all right? But you can see here Kenyon Drake is the top overall running back on this round. He scores 41 VORC points. Has a great outlook. You know, he's in a good situation. This gold dollar means it's a contract year. This upward arrow means he's had an upward trend in his usage over each of the past 3 seasons. That's something I like to see. High reliability. He's a high reliability player. Consistency maybe not the best, but he is a good choice. And let's see here. Our next pick is 56. So by the time he would be a long shot on the next pick. I don't know if you saw that. Kenyon Drake, he's a reach here. That's what these hands mean. He's a reach. All reach means is that on the next pick, he's a long shot. So less than 50-50 chance that he will make it to the 5th round pick. So if we want him, we should take him now. I do like the idea of taking another running back here. You know, running backs really thin out quick, man. I mean, there's not a lot. But if we didn't want to get Kenyon Drake, who else would we take? Mark Ingram. Josh Jacobs is a long shot. Okay, we might be able to get Josh Jacobs. I would take him. I still have him queued up on my board. Philip Lindsay, another player, very good player. He is being hit right now on my VORC score because he is injured. Let's see, is Josh Jacobs still? He is still there. You know what? I'm taking Josh Jacobs as my flex running back. That is amazing. I love that. Jacobs as my 3rd running back off the board. That's awesome. Okay, so he was a long shot, but we got him. Now, you know, based strictly on VORC score, I probably should have gone for Kenyon Drake, but I think that they're both good choices, right? They're both quality choices. So let's look at the 5th round here. Now it's recommending Robbie Anderson, Alshon Jeffrey, Jarvis Landry. So it's recommending all wide receivers this round. If we looked to get a running back, again, long shot to get Kenyon Drake. I like the idea of doing that. Mark Ingram is a long shot as well. Chris Carson, if we wanted to take, the Seattle running back, he is knocked down a little bit because he has an injury designation on him right now. But they are all fine choices. They all offer good value. And going 4 running backs in the first 5 picks, I think is a perfectly good strategy, man. I mean, you really want to load up. You want to have as many running backs as you possibly can. I know the Yahoo draft board, the mock draft board only lets you have 6, draft 6, and we will definitely draft 6 on this mock. But let's go ahead. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get them queued up, and we will pause till we're within 3 of our next pick, and then we'll see where we're at. All right, and we're back, and I see someone else that I'm interested in. So I got some guys queued up. I got Drake, Carson, and Anderson queued up. It looks like someone just drafted Landry, who was another option for this round. But I see David Montgomery here as well. Now, David Montgomery, he might be on, let's see here, is he on the next round? Is that where he shows up? No. Oh, is he maybe a holdover? He is. He is a holdover from the prior round. Now, we already took a rookie running back, right? We already got Josh Jacobs. A little bit wary about taking 2. I'm thinking we should definitely go. I'm thinking we should stick with Kenyon. And also, just to let you know, I usually don't draft injured players, so you can see the injury designation on Chris Carson and Robbie Anderson here. Those just recently popped up, so I don't know how serious those injuries are. Obviously, we're still in preseason. I mean, we're before preseason begins. Oh, look at that. Someone just took Kenyon Drake right before our pick. You know, this happens in every draft. You're going to miss out on 1 or 2 players that you really, really want. But I do like the idea of just going with our second choice, Chris Carson. And like I said, if I had not taken Josh Jacobs, I would be taking David Montgomery at this point. But I'm taking Chris. He's my 4th running back. And then as we go to the 6th round, let's circle back and let's get ourselves our second wide receiver. So if what the app is recommending, well, James White, the running back at this point, but Tyler Boyd and then Tariq Cohen. So Tyler Boyd is the top wide receiver for this round. I do like the idea. Also, Robbie Anderson is a long shot, and we do have him queued up. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and let's do Tyler Boyd. Let's get him queued up as well. You can see Robbie Anderson is still on our board up here. And we will see. We will see if Robbie makes it to us. It is, like I said, less than 50-50 shot. Now, also, I want to see, when did Gurley get drafted? I want to just see here, because, again, it's just nuts. Oh, someone took him 13th. Okay, well, that makes sense. But, yeah, I mean, I was running some other mock drafts today, going super late. I mean, really, it's just crazy how negative consensus has all of a sudden turned on him when nothing has happened. There's no news, right? Nothing has happened there. I think that's, a 2nd round for Todd Gurley. I think is a good choice. If you can get him in the 3rd round, that is amazing. I would absolutely target him in the 3rd round. I don't think I would take him in the 1st or 2nd just because of the injury issue. But we are almost back to my pick. I'm just going to pause till we get to our pick, and then we'll go ahead and we'll take whichever. Okay, so it looks like there's a really good chance that Robbie Anderson is going to make it to us, which is fantastic. What I'd like to say is on the app, if a recommended player from a prior round makes it to your next round, I would take that player. When you look at the VORC score, the score is based on the value of your pick number. Like in this case, right now we're looking at pick number 65 for us. Look at that, Robbie Anderson made it to us. Let's go ahead and we'll take him. Robbie Anderson is our number 2. Now, normally, Tyler Boyd is also a fine choice, but we already have a Cincinnati player in Joe Mixon, so let's just go with Robbie Anderson. I think that's a good choice. But you can see, let's see here, if we look at players that, okay, so Robbie Anderson in the 5th round gets 49 VORC points. But in the 6th round, Robbie Anderson gets 58 VORC points. Now, why is that? Well, his value rank remains the same, but your pick number goes from 56 to 65. So that means his value jumps by an additional 9 points. All right, and that boosts his VORC score. So because all the value points are is it's just your pick number less their value. And if it's a positive number, that means they're undervalued. If it's a negative number, that means the player is overvalued. All right, but let's move on. Let's go to the 7th round here and see who we want to take here. Now, it is recommending, let's see here, Sterling Shepard, wide receiver, Vance McDonald, tight end, Chicago Bears defense. Okay, so if you want the Chicago Bears defense and you're in a 12-team league picking 8th, this is when you need to take him in the 7th round. That's a little early for a defense, in my opinion. I like to wait till the very end to take one. But this is going to give you the information you need to know that this is the time to do that. Just like it was with Andrew Luck, right? We didn't take him, but we knew if we did, we'd have to take him in, when did he show up? On the 3rd round, the 4th round? I think it was the 3rd. Nope, it was the 4th. There he is. Yeah. Okay, so anyway, I like the idea of going tight end. Vance McDonald's a great choice. Who else is tight end this round? David Njoku. Eric Ebron, who I don't like, but he's a long shot anyway. Delaney Walker, I don't like him either, coming back from this serious injury. Vance McDonald, I think, is going to be an awesome choice in the 7th round. So let's go ahead and we'll queue up Vance. Again, we should be able to get him no problem. One of the nice things about this app, and one of the things I hope you notice, is that I'm not really tracking what players are coming off the board. When I'm in a real draft, I tend to just check how many quarterbacks, how many tight ends, and what the person before me and after me in the draft are taking, who they have on their roster as far as running backs, wide receivers, tight ends, or quarterbacks. That's the only thing I really need to track. I don't need to track specific players. I need to cross them off a list, because when you look at the 7th round, pick number 80 for our player, if we sort the expected draft position, we're looking at all the players between pick number 77 and pick number 90. All right, so there's a little bit of overlap on each side, but basically when we go to the 8th round, almost all these players are gone. The only players that will appear on the next round are these reaches. They're the only ones. So all these players are going to be gone. What you have to do is figure out who was the very best player in that round, and it gives you, again, these options are based on that. So we're going to switch it back to being sorted by the work. And that's actually one of the nice things about this is you can sort by any of these columns just by tapping on them. So the top work score would be Sterling Shepard, who would be a quality wide receiver. But I think, again, we do need to go tight end, so we will grab Vance. So let me just go ahead and pause so we're within 3, and we'll grab our guy. All right, so it's almost back to us, and you can see that Tyler Boyd has made it to us. Again, he was a long shot. Looks like he is going to make it to us on this pick, but again, we really need to take our tight end this round because, again, both Vance McDonald and David Njoku will be gone most likely by our 8th pick. If we wait, and we don't want to risk it, right? You want to make sure that you get these players when you need to take them. So, and just to let you know, how does my app actually work? Well, I've created an algorithm which I call expected draft position. And what it is it's designed to give you the most likely idea as to when a player is expected to be taken. It's not based on any rank or any ADP. It's my own formula for calculating it, and it gets constantly updated over the course of the fantasy football season. Vance McDonald, as you can see, he's ranked on that list as 118th. We're taking him at pick number 80, but he is most likely to be taken at pick number 90. All right, and our next pick is pick number 89. So Vance McDonald could possibly make it to us, but it's really cutting it close. And David Njoku would be gone. I don't want to risk it. I'm taking Vance at that point, right, which I did. Now, you can see for the next round, Vance McDonald is actually at the very top of the list this time because of, he's at pick number 90. We're at pick number 89, right? But you can see it's recommending N'Keal Harry, a New England wide receiver rookie. Christian Kirk, the Arizona wide receiver. Those are who it's recommending. We can also look at, you know what, we might need to start looking at quarterbacks. What quarterbacks would be available? Well, we got Carson Wentz, who's a long shot. Jameis Winston, who's a reach. And Kyler Murray. I don't really like any of those guys, truthfully. I mean, Wentz, if he came through, but even he has durability issues. Next round, we could get Goff or Trubisky. Even Winston's a long shot, right? So I like the idea of maybe just waiting for Goff. I think he's a quality choice. And we could even wait later than that. I mean, if we wanted to go to the 10th round, look, we could get Dak Prescott. Goff would be a long shot there. Ben Roethlisberger. You know, there's so many decent QB1s in the league right now that you can wait. And I like to, when we get to, 12 and 14 size leagues and larger, I like to wait as long as possible to take a quarterback. So I don't think we need to do that. I do like the idea of going with N'Keal Harry. I do like, that'd be our second rookie. I will not take any more rookies after this. I think 2 is enough for my entire roster. I'll probably end up taking at least one more. But let's also look at what running backs could we grab this round. In the 8th round, again, like I said, thins out quickly. Rashad Penny, Latavius Murray, both long shots. Jerick McKinnon's the only one for this round. He's a terrible choice. I have no interest in Jerick McKinnon. So I think, let's definitely go with the wide receiver this round. Let's go with N'Keal. It's almost back to us. Let me get him queued up. Oh, and look, Tyler Boyd is still on the board. That is crazy. I will take Tyler Boyd if he makes it 2 rounds past his expected pick point. So it's very close. It could happen. We're only 3 picks away here. Look, people are just totally ignoring Alshon Jeffrey. He was supposed to go at pick 51. Corey Davis at pick 68. What about these guys? Well, to tell you the truth, I'm not real interested in either of these guys. Corey Davis is a low-volume passing offense in Tennessee. It's a run-first offense. We've got the runner. We got Derrick Henry. I'm perfectly happy with that. I don't really trust Marcus Mariota to be able to pass the ball enough times to make Corey Davis a consistent threat, and that's an issue I have. Alshon Jeffrey, again, injury-prone. I don't really like him. But Tyler Boyd, I very much like. I know we already got a Cincinnati player. We're going to take a second one here. If he doesn't get taken, he doesn't. This is an amazing bargain, everybody. Tyler Boyd, that is an amazing bargain, okay? As our 3rd wide receiver, that's also a great choice. So let's go to the 9th round. And again, if we want, we could take Jared Goff here. I think we should wait. Let's see, Let's see as far as running backs, what running backs would be good on this round. Wow, look, again, really thinned out. That's why you got to grab a lot of running backs in your first, in the first 5 or 6 rounds. Like I said, for the first 5 of my picks were running backs. Go with some sort of strategy like that. Royce Freeman, meh. Kareem Hunt, meh. He's not even going to play till week 10, I think is when he's going to start. Your fantasy season's almost over at that point. Not really interested in that. Wide receivers, well, let's see here. It's recommending, let's see here, Goff, N'Keal, Harry. Wait a minute. Yes, I'm right. Okay, so we could still get N'Keal Harry, right? Or D.D. Westbrook. Oh, I like both those guys. Yeah, those are both good. Oh, look at that. N'Keal Harry is a guy, his ADP, his expected draft position is 105. We're picking at 104. So he's like right on the cusp. Okay, so this is interesting. And you can see he's still on there. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get D.D. also queued up, and we'll come back when we're within 3. All right, we're back, and you can see that both N'Keal and D.D. are still available and on the list. So I think I'm going to take N'Keal. I really like the idea of taking him. And, we were talking about 10th round taking our quarterback. I think we might even be able to wait till the 11th. I'll show you what I mean in just a second. As soon as, of course, Braden is taking his entire 30 seconds there. All right. And let's hope that these guys don't take nearly as long. We can also look here. Now look at this. Tevin Coleman. Again, look at these guys that are just look, Alshon Jeffrey's still sitting on the board. That's nuts. Marvin Jones I don't have any interest in. But you know what? We need another running back. And so I'm going to pull an audible here. Coleman was supposed to be gone several rounds ago, so I will take him. Yes, I know it's a crowded backfield in San Francisco, but Jarrett McKinnon has no interest for me, and I think it's going to be Coleman's backfield. So we went ahead and we took him instead. And if we jump to the 10th round, so you see in the 10th round, we could get Dak Prescott or Ben Roethlisberger. I think both are great choices this season. If we went to the 11th round, Ben is still there, as is Phillip Rivers. And these are the guys I like, right? I mean, I think when you're talking about going late, these guys are both quality players that get no respect on the draft board. I can't believe how late they're available, especially someone like Rivers, who is perennially a QB1 every year. And he is on a top-notch offense with top-notch talent. I don't know why he is so far down the list, but we could go for them in the 11th round here, and we're coming in on the 10th. So let's go back to the 10th round here. And you can see that Marquez Valdez-Scantling is a player that I'm very interested in. That's a good recommendation there. Or if these guys make it, which it looks like they will, man. I mean, this is kind of a crazy draft. I'm just like a little shocked at how some players are just getting completely ignored. Let's go with N'Keal. And again, I like that situation in New England as far as him being able to get targets. They lost a lot of players that caught a lot of balls last year, including Gronk. So there's going to be red zone looks available. I think N'Keal Harry is going to be a very valuable player. So that's a great bargain. I got to say, we are getting some incredible bargains this late in the draft. And now we're going to go take our quarterback. So let's see who is available. And I bet you there's going to be guys available that should have been gone already. Let's see. No, well, there's Dak. There's Ben. Let's see here. Did Rivers already get taken? Well, that's good because he deserved to be. When was he taken? 95th. Someone took him super early. That's kind of dumb. But certainly Dak or Ben, great choices. Lamar Jackson has a real safe floor because of his rushing yards. I think he's probably at the end of the year probably going to be the top quarterback rusher in the league. That's very valuable. Jimmy Garoppolo can't stay healthy. I'm not really interested in him. Mitch Trubisky, I don't trust, man. I just don't think the guy is going to be able to give you enough fantasy points to be worth it. Josh Allen, another rusher, right? Another rushing quarterback who doesn't throw the ball very well. So let's go ahead. Like I said, we'll just queue up. Let's just queue up Dak and Ben, and we will take whoever is available once it gets back to us. All right, it is almost back to us, and Ben is still on the board. And of course, right as I paused the video, Dak got taken. So it's fine. We knew he was a long shot anyway at this point. We really waited a little bit too long to get our quarterback. We should have probably taken him last round. But, it just happens in these drafts. As long as you have backups and second and third choices, you're going to be fine, right? And Roethlisberger, fine choice. If I wanted to, I can take a second quarterback here at the end of the draft, someone like Kirk Cousins or something like that. I think, if we want to shore that up a little bit, because we know that Roethlisberger is not great on the road, So why don't we do that? We'll get the best quarterback we can get in the 13th round, and we'll go with that. But we still have one more round to pick another player. So it is recommending John Brown, Deshaun Hamilton, and Nyheim Hines, wide receivers and running backs. I like the idea of going with Hines to give us, again, more depth. He is a prolific pass catcher, being thrown to by Andrew Luck. So I think that's a great choice. So let's go ahead. Let's put these guys on the queue. I'm going to pause till we're within 3, and then we'll see where we're at. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention, and it just came back to me very suddenly. There are some great choices here that are still available. Nyheim Hines is here, who is the recommended one. And actually, if you look at the value of all these players, I think this guy is a solid choice. We'll take Hines. And then, like I said, we will go back to quarterbacks on the next round. I'm going to pause till we're within 3. All right, and it's almost back to us. You can see we still have some great choices. Look, we could go Tom Brady. Kirk Cousins is the one that I flagged because I think he's an excellent choice. If you look on our list, you'll see that he is probably on there. Yes, he is. See, Kirk Cousins is on there. So I like the idea. Unless he gets taken by Joe here in this auto pick, we will take him. And, Kirk Cousins, everybody disses what he did last year. He still got 4,400 yards and 30 touchdowns, okay? That's QB1, man. That's a QB1 production. And you know that Minnesota's going to be good. Maybe they won't pass the ball as much this year. That's a concern. I'm not concerned about it. He's a pocket passer. He's going to be passing the ball a lot. He's got 2 of the best receivers in the game in Stephon Diggs and why am I drawing the Thielen? I'm trying to blank on the other name. Okay, so the only thing we have to take is the defense and the kicker. So I'm just going to go ahead and pause it. We'll come back at the end. We'll kind of review the team and see what we think. All right, so we're back. So it just wrapped up, and I went ahead and I took Dallas as my defense because they've got an amazing early season schedule, including a week 1 tilt at home against the Giants and Eli Manning. I think they're going to get a lot of turnovers and interceptions in that game. And then for my kicker, I went ahead and I got Dan Bailey of Minnesota. Again, good offense, plays in a dome. That's the kind of kicker that I want. And I always recommend waiting until the very end of your draft for both those positions because most players only take one of each, and that means the waiver wire is always really deep. There's always great matchups. I just tend to stream those positions anyway. That's my strategy with them, so I always take them last. But let's review the rest of the team. So for our quarterback, I got 2. I got Ben Roethlisberger and I got Kirk Cousins. I think those are 2 quality choices, and I can swap them out. If Roethlisberger has a tough road game, I think I could put Kirk Cousins in. But both excellent offenses. Okay, there's going to be a lot of production on those offenses. Okay, so now let's look at the wide receivers. Juju Smith-Schuster, top notch. Robbie Anderson, quality wide receiver 2. And then I got Tyler Boyd, another quality wide receiver 2. And N'Keal Harry, a good upside rookie. And that is it for wide receivers. For running backs, I got Joe Mixon, Derrick Henry, Josh Jacobs, Chris Carson, Tevin Coleman, and Nyheim Hines. That is an excellent core of running backs. I really, really like that. Tight end is Vance McDonald, who I believe has a ton of upside this season. Hopefully he can stay healthy. That's his big issue, is he's a low reliability player. I did not take a second tight end, though, and the main reason I didn't is because in drafting your second tight end, you're not going to get any better value drafting one than you're going to be able to get from just picking someone up off the waiver wire. There's no strategic benefit to taking a second tight end. So hopefully Vance McDonald will last the whole season. And last season he did play 15 games. So I'm hoping and confident that he will become who I truly believe will be the tight end 5 this year with the increased volume. So again, overall, this is an excellent team. I would love to take this team in with me to my fantasy season. These are all quality players. We got good value. I don't think we took a single player that was overvalued at the point that we took them. So every single player is bringing value to our team, and I think this is going to be a very competitive team come fantasy season. So thank you very much for watching. Once again, please, I encourage you to go to my website, fantasyfootballmaverick.com, sign up, check out the app. I think you'll like it. It has a lot of good information, actionable information, which will help you in your draft to making those critical draft day decisions, which are so important to the success of your team. You're not going to waiver wire yourself out of a bad draft, okay? If you draft a quality team, your whole season's going to be a lot easier than if you make mistakes. That's what I learned the hard way before I created this app. So thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it. Please like and subscribe because I'm going to be doing more of these mock drafts during the course of the whole fantasy football preseason. And thanks for watching, everybody. Have a good night.